and this is SAS Rana reporting live from my location, which is Chandigarh, 150 miles north of New Delhi, from my hometown at SAS Nagar, which is 4093 from my HRS. As you can see, this is some bizarre weather, so we're just going to observe for a minute how the lightnings are spanning. You can see this bizarre phenomena. It's just like going on for almost an hour. It's been very crazy, like it's like buzzing all around, and this phenomena, sort of what you call El Nino, a minor El Nino, but this is turning into something big. And I guess this is one indication which I did feel something's gonna come as a water disaster all over the world, which I predicted like 5-6 days back. So this is one of the, you can say, indication from Mother Nature. So we're gonna observe for a moment more, and you can see this bizarre lightning. It's all around. So folks, I have updated today one more article, which is on my wordpress.com, which is onewordpress.wordpress.com. And as you can see, this is some bizarre weather pattern here with thunderstorm, lightning, whatnot. It's been going crazy for at least an hour now. Right now it's about 15 hours UTC. So it started around 14 hours UTC. Just about when I finished writing my articles for today, I posted it on my wordpress.com, which is onewordpress.wordpress.com. Alternatively at sjsrana@yahoo.com. So folks, we're gonna witness this for at least 1 or 2 more hours, which is my understanding. And this was all predicted by me, that weather pattern is gonna change and we're gonna see water disasters all over the globe. And one of the indications which has come up here, even we had solar flare, it was a massive flare which we saw yesterday on 9th, and we're going to witness quakes, earthquakes, and some major movements towards the weather pattern, also the quakes and the tsunamis. Alright, so I sign off. Let's see what comes up with the Mother Nature shining brightest lights here. Okay folks, this is my hometown, home location, and I guess we had seen enough of good phenomena now. And actually there is no electricity right now, it's run out. And as you can see, so over here at my front gate, my gates are always locked, by the way, because I keep my gates always locked, because you never know hate crime over here with the people. You never know who comes barge into your house, and people have a very high hate crime here. You cannot trust people in India openly. You never know, because there's so many agendas going on, because once you start telling the truth, people hate you in India. They don't like you. So, I keep writing truth. I keep telling things the way it is supposed to be. But somehow you don't get any appreciation in India. You only get appreciation if you obfuscate the truth. That's what everybody likes. So folks, right now, front gates are locked, even my back gate is locked 24/7. Also I have some safety measures towards having my religious sacred textbooks, holy book here, so which is quite dear and near to me, so I keep it safe. So you can see this bizarre weather pattern all around. So SAS Rana reporting from my hometown. This is my location. Okay, and which is 1493 phase 3 between Mohali. So I think this bizarre pattern is going to continue for at least 1 hour, because this is where I had seen it coming. Alright folks, so let's see what comes up next. Hi folks, so that what you saw was live recording from my side at my hometown, home location, which I saw the bizarre pattern. I recorded on June 10th itself. On June 11th it got reported on news as well, and strikingly this lightning was so strong this time that it basically harmed the temple, one of the temple in the northern region of India. and it broke the worship place there, and something very bizarre which they don't see often. And it was very stunning because this temple, it's a Hindu temple, and very well known and popular. It's about 2,500 meters in the height. It's quite up in the mountains, and this lightning decimated region around, and this temple also got impacted. So, well, incidentally, I recorded that video which you saw earlier because I was finding it very strange. Now, this strange phenomena I've already been predicting on my oneworldpress.wordpress.com and on my YouTube channel, which you can see that this, I've already said, they're going to be bizarre weather patterns, water-related disasters. So that has already been my B. And this is my latest update to that. On June 7th, I had done some of these coverage, and also I have done it on June 10th. I updated the article, and this June 10th, you can have a look at it. This is June 10th article at about 14:47 UTC hours, where I had predicted, and I've said, after the solar eclipse, we're going to see tsunami, quakes, and some bizarre weather patterns. So also we have done some sort of coverage onto how this Me Too movement at school is started, and the Indian sexual predators teamwork, which I've already been highlighting every time. It's a bizarre phenomena here. People don't get it, and I don't know why. For some strange reason, 666 million females don't ever protest. They just keep watching these sexual predators, which are all around in the neighborhood. So, anyways, folks, quickly jumping back to the Indian casualties or Indian fatalities for COVID-19 disaster, which still happens to keep ramping up. It's touched total cases have touched almost around 30 million, and death fatalities are exceeding 370k cases. So if you see the reason why this is happening, why there are so much of fatalities and so much of cases in India, well, I can only give you one reason. This is the intermingling of sexual predators with females. One sexual predator in India is intermingling almost 2 or 3 females every day. So this is a bizarre pattern, and there are massive sexual predators in India. Every third person or second person is a sexual predator in India. The folks and the guys, they don't get it, how to stay away or have a social distancing. So we see the impact. If you see at the graph of the COVID-19, the fatalities is directly proportional to Indian markets. This is a strange reason. Well, every other market in the whole world has had a slump due to COVID-19 disaster, but India having registered highest number of COVID-19 cases. But you see the markets, the financial markets are just shooting up as if there is no tomorrow, as if there is no disaster. So this is some strange phenomena. Nifty, which is a rating of almost top 50 picks stocks in India, and the big basket, which has always outperformed rest of the markets. For some strange reason, this has been going on. So now we see ICRA had stepped in to give the GDP for FY22 India, which has pegged to about 8.5% now GDP. So this was my original prediction about 3-4 months back. If you can take a look and listen, I've already predicted that in India GDP is not more than 8%, or 9% is pegging it, but 8% at the most for FY22. For some strange reason, India government doesn't tell the truth upfront. They keep obfuscating till the point people come to know the reality. Also, you see the India is hitting with the highest inflation. You can see the oil price is rising up, and it's pinching the pockets of the average Indian 1.4 billion population. And once this starts to kick in, it's going to have a high impact on inflation. Another major thing which we have covered, this is a big thing going on, is basically in India, northern region, there was a student who was a 10th standard or 10th grade girl, who was basically gang raped in India by many males. It's almost more than 8 or 9 males, and they together had exceptional teamwork. And this came to light because there are at least 4 or 5 minor boys who participated in this sexual battery. So this phenomena in India, which is a massive number of sexual predators, it's quite open. Everybody knows it, but they don't speak about it. They try to take it as casual approach. Everybody is, busy in just their own thing, but they don't mass protest. And this has been going on. Recently there was a mother who died of heart attack because when she found out that her daughter, again a minor, was gang raped in India, held hostage and kidnapped. This is so usual in India. It's such a casual affair that even politicians ignore. They say, oh, what's the big deal about it? and 666 million females don't mass protest. You know, it's very strange in India. The sexual predators teamwork is so exceptional that in every locality, I tell you what I've observed here. They have formed a nexus. They formed a quite, secret code book where these sexual predators in locality communicate with each other how to entrap a female. They will not allow, the association, Sexual Predators Association of India, will not allow open communication between people. So they keep telling them to remain silent and just remain silent, and they push the females around with the teamwork of sexual predators, or the teamwork of population of sexual predators who are all around in the neighborhood. They form exceptional teamwork and they keep rotating females around. And the person who wants to meet the real person, let's say there's a human right activist who they want to meet, they will not allow simply to meet that person. They will basically circulate some fake news, some false propaganda, just so that they can enjoy females. This is how it's going in India. It's quite evident in every locality in a city. These big people, big shots, are all aware how they are collaborating, they're colluding with all other sexual predators in India, in the locality, to basically entrap, enslave, and stalk females. This is a common approach, and what they give is a metaphor consent. So they will say, oh no, this is our custom here, that you have to basically trick or treat sort of thing. So every female is entrapped like that in India, and it's going every day. These people are going crazy like that. Guys, regardless of what religious texts say, but if you look at any religious text of any religion, they have been saying, there's a sexual sin which we must.
So you're dating.
I want to leave you this.
You found the perfect match, right?
How they are trying.
You're compatible in every way.
You
look at each other and you start smiling.
This we must avoid.
Should you be away from each other, there is a longing and desire to reunite as soon as possible. This is love, right? Well, I would like to offer some biblical guidance when it comes to how you conduct yourself in this relationship you're in. The Bible says in Ecclesiastes 11, verse 9, "Rejoice, O young man, in your youth, and let your heart cheer you in the days of your youth. Walk in the ways of your heart and the sight of your eyes. But know that for all these things God will bring you into judgment." Read that last line again. But know that for all these things, God will bring you into judgment. What you do with that woman before you're married has consequences. What you do with that man before you're married has consequences. You see, everything that we do on this earth has an eternal consequence in the future. Everything that we do on this earth has an effect on us, and that effect is either good or evil. To sum it all up, I want to clearly tell you that there will always be consequences to your actions. They may not come right away, but the books will be settled on your account one day. Now, when it comes to sexual sin especially, there will be a chain reaction, a backlash, a fallout. There will always be an effect on you. Now, media, entertainment, and Hollywood love to sell you the idea of romance. They love to show the thrill of a whirlwind romance. Boy meets girl, they have fun, they laugh, they eat, and before you know it, they are in between the sheets. The idea being promoted here is not marriage. It's not a blessed covenant by God. It's either fornication or adultery. However, what they don't tell you about sexual sin is that there are lasting consequences on you. There are serious side effects to consider. Firstly, the Bible says in 1 Corinthians 6, verse 18, "Flee from sexual immorality. Every other sin a person commits is outside of the body, but the sexual immoral person sins against his own body." Where else does the Bible explicitly tell you to flee? We're basically told to run away from sexual immorality. Why? Because there are serious consequences. The Bible is telling us flee, run away from sexual immorality in any form, whether thought or behavior, whether visual or written. Run away from it because every other sin.
So no wonder why India has maximum number of sexual predators, because they missed the lesson in spirituality or religious textbook that sexual immorality is one of the biggest crime you can do or sin you can do against your own body. And these minor girls are their prime targets in India. I would easily say there are almost about 30-40% India males are sexual predators. Because it doesn't get reported doesn't mean they are not. They are 30-40% to my understanding. That's why I keep repeating every time for India that 8 out of every 10 India population is downright corrupt, mostly morally, ethically bankrupt, and pathological liars. Yes, folks, they are pathological liars. I tell you simply, you have to understand that deceit and deception, it is so massive, it's so elusive, it's so big that, these people are able to scam people even in North America sitting from India. If you can Google search CRA scam, IRS scam, which are Indian scammers over phone, using phone spoofing technology. They're able to scam people sitting in US using as IRS impersonators. So these sexual predators are very good impersonators also. They will impersonate anybody in the neighborhood just to entrap a female. They can do anything. They can, fight to death, and they can lie. They are totally immoral people in India who are basically sexual predators. I've been writing these articles again and again, alerting how these people forge a teamwork. And these people in the neighborhood form exceptional teamwork with the other top predators because they know their prize is a female who they entrap and slave, and they basically use it like in a rotation mode, like a revolving door. They put a female like a revolving door, and they just put it towards every other sexual predator team they have formed. It's like a football team. These predators are a football team. They play together and they also rape together. It's like mode they are all interested in. This is why India is known as rape capital of the world. There is no wonder about it. And females, they keep quiet. If you ask 666 million why they don't protest, there are 666 million, they will all keep quiet. So they know, because at their home somebody or the other male member is actually a sexual predator. They already know. That's why they keep quiet. It's a simple fact which I'm trying to tell, and people don't like to hear truth in India. They only like to obfuscate truth. They only like to obfuscate things, and they like to sell the things which is like a snake oil. They are very good at doing that, most of it. And you can say 20% of Indian population may be good at every sense, maybe more of the moral ethic grounds, but 8 out of every 10 India population is downright corrupt, morally, ethically bankrupt, and pathological liars. So it's no wonder why India registered maximum COVID-19 cases and a disaster, because folks, it's a malefic karma. Yes, it's a malefic karma of these people, and it's a haunting, like it's nothing can be done about it. It's a haunting malefic karma. That's why India registers maximum COVID-19 deaths, fatalities, and cases. Also, the other thing is the sexual predators which intermingle with females every day. This is quite often, and it's quite obvious to everyone. They just do it at the night hour. They just keep pushing females around in the neighborhood like a revolving door. And everybody knows it, everybody ignores it. This is how it goes in India. And it's so pathetic, this whole situation.
We have an update on a story we first brought you back in March. It's about a young woman who disappeared in London on her way home from a night out. Sarah Everhart's murder prompted a nationwide debate over violence, harassment, and abuse of women. Roxana Saberi is near the crime scene with new developments on this story. Roxana, good morning to you.
Good morning, Gail. Everard was walking home through a populated area near here after leaving a friend's house one evening. She had just finished speaking to her boyfriend on the phone to make plans for the next day when she vanished. Her body was found a week later, 50 miles outside London. Now, police officer Wayne Cousins has pleaded guilty to kidnapping and raping her. In court yesterday, he also accepted responsibility for her death. Everard's killing ignited widespread grief, and the seemingly everyday nature of her actions on the night of her disappearance sparked outrage about women's safety in Britain, with many women speaking out about their own experiences of being harassed and assaulted. That outcry was clear at one vigil here that had been banned because of COVID restrictions. Clashes erupted when police tried to break up the gathering and arrested several women. The police response sparked protests and condemnation in the days that followed. One newspaper here is quoting London's chief of police as saying London is one of the safest large cities in the world, and that female officers are now patrolling this area with help from the public. Still, many women from all walks of life say more needs to be done. Tony?
Roxana Saberi for us in London. Roxana, thank you very much.
Okay, so we see sun for June 11th, about 11 hours UTC, while I'm reporting this from my hometown. You can see, the sun is giving some bizarre look. It's a solar eclipse, which was on June 10th. We all observed it. And now some of these things which I've written in past, I'm just sharing the site which is before its news. And I'd written 10 years back, these my articles. And I've also predicted, and I've also mentioned genome weapon, which is like a genetic modification done to a human DNA, RNA, all those things are possible, which is 10 years ago I wrote these articles. My articles are Google searchable, but for some reason there is obfuscation also, because I also face a lot of hate crime in India because of the fact that I keep telling the truth. And, obviously I have to face government, they implicated me in 2 fake and false fabricated cases in Indian courts, where they lost completely. And those 2 cases were totally fabricated. And I had to undergo, almost about 3 years of ordeal just to get this thing off my back. But anyways, I keep doing my part, which is rights. And the obfuscation is so big that even Google, if you try to search from the result, you don't get it up front, and you have to do it 1 or 2 times. Look at this result. This is complete lie and deceit from Google. Okay, so in the images part, when you search by hashtag sjsrana, but now with this all, you can get this articles, and these are related to me. So these are my before its news article, which I wrote 10 years back. I was active in before its news, and it was a very huge audience gathering site, where I'd written almost about, you can say, 300 articles on various forums, various topics, social events, social justice, and social cause. And also you can search on YouTube, which is from sjsrana. These all articles, you can have a look. Okay, I leave you folks and meet you next time. And this is some good clip I leave you with, and this is Bolero by and whoever. This is very nice piece of classical music. Let's take a listen. Thanks.